You can fake a smile, but you can't fake the direction your feet point when you secretly want to escape a conversation. Your nervous system leaks what you're actually thinking through microsignals you literally cannot control. Your colleague's upper body might be turned right toward you, but their feet are telling the absolute truth. Our feet and legs are controlled by the primitive limbic brain, which governs our survival instincts. Because of this, your shoes naturally align with whatever captures your interest, or toward the nearest escape route when you're ready to leave. Picture chatting with a friend at a busy coffee shop. Their face is completely engaged, but their sneakers are angled directly toward the exit door. They've already checked out of the conversation mentally. Spotting this subtle directional shift lets you wrap up gracefully before you completely lose their attention. You can't fake the size of your pupils, no matter how hard you try to maintain a poker face. Researcher Eckhard Hess discovered back in 1965 that our autonomic nervous system involuntarily expands our pupils whenever we see something genuinely stimulating or attractive. Your brain simply can't conceal its internal excitement when a target catches your interest. Imagine sitting across from someone during a tense business negotiation. Their voice stays completely flat and neutral, yet their eyes suddenly dilate the exact second you mention a specific number. Watching for these quick pupil shifts gives you a direct window into a person's subconscious desires before they even say a word. A fake smile relies only on the mouth, but real happiness requires muscles that are almost impossible to contract on command. Psychologists Paul Ekman and Wallace Friesen showed in 1982 that genuine joy triggers the orbicularis oculi muscles, which lift your cheeks and crinkle the outer corners of your eyes. Forced smiles skip these eye muscles entirely because you can't consciously activate them. Think about receiving a thoroughly disappointing gift from a relative. You flash a broad grin instantly, but your eyes remain completely flat, wide, and unwrinkled. Learning to spot these missing eye crinkles helps you instantly separate genuine enthusiasm from polite, superficial performance in high-stakes social interactions. When someone touches the hollow of their throat during a conversation, they're secretly attempting to soothe a sudden spike of anxiety. This specific neck region contains delicate nerve endings that, when lightly pressed or covered, actively lower your heart rate through your parasympathetic nervous system. It's an automatic self-soothing reflex designed to quiet the brain whenever you feel stressed or cornered. Notice how a job applicant suddenly reaches up to touch their collar or adjust a necklace right when you bring up a tricky subject. Spotting these pacifying behaviors lets you detect hidden discomfort instantly, giving you a massive advantage during any difficult negotiation or interview. Plane crashes scare you far more than car accidents, even though driving down the highway is vastly more dangerous. You judge how common or risky something is based entirely on how easily a dramatic example pops into your head. Vivid memories and sensational news headlines create intense mental pathways that fool your brain into miscalculating real-world probability. Watching just one news story about a shark attack makes you terrified to step foot in the ocean during your weekend vacation. You overestimate rare disasters while ignoring quiet everyday risks. Realizing this threat calculation error keeps irrational fears from running your daily life. Notice how you instantly believe news articles that agree with your political views while immediately dismissing the rest. Your brain actively ignores hard facts that challenge what you already believe to be true. Seeking out contradictory evidence creates uncomfortable cognitive friction, so your mind takes the path of least resistance by filter feeding only agreeable data. A hiring manager ignores 10 months of poor performance from an employee they like because they only remember 2 good presentations. You construct a cozy bubble that protects your ego from reality. Overcoming this internal filter helps you see the truth clearly instead of endlessly defending comfortable lies. You don't remember an entire vacation, your brain only keeps 2 specific moments. Nobel winner Daniel Kahneman discovered in 1993 that human memory averages an event's most intense peak in its final seconds, completely ignoring how long it lasted. Imagine enduring a grueling 2-hour flight with terrible turbulence. If the pilot lands smoothly and the crew hands you a free warm cookie at the exit, you'll rate the whole trip as pleasant. Painful dentist visits or boring workshops suffer the exact same memory trick. Stop trying to make long events perfect from start to finish. Focus entirely on creating one powerful high point and a strong closing line, because that's all anyone actually retains. That lopsided wooden table in your living room feels priceless simply because your hands put it together. Michael Norton proved in 2012 that people value self-assembled products significantly higher than identical pre-built items. When you invest labor into crafting something, your ego fuses with the object, inflating its emotional worth to blind you to obvious flaws. You'll keep an ugly, wobbly nightstand for years while throwing away superior manufactured furniture without a second thought. This hidden valuation bug keeps you trapped in terrible DIY projects and bad business ideas just because you built them. Recognizing this attachment lets you cut your losses on failed personal projects much faster. Spilling coffee on your shirt feels like an absolute public tragedy, but virtually nobody around you cares. Thomas Gilovich demonstrated in 2000 that people systematically overestimate how much others notice their appearance and mistakes by over 50%. Because you're the main character in your own mind, you assume everyone else is constantly monitoring your movements. Think back to the embarrassing stain you hid behind a folder during your morning meeting. Half the room didn't even realize you were there. You're wasting precious mental energy worrying about an audience that simply isn't watching. Reclaim your confidence by remembering that everyone else is far too self-absorbed to judge your tiny slips. Offering a customer 24 choices destroys sales far faster than offering them just 6. Researchers Sheena Iyengar and Mark Lepper set up tasting displays in a luxury supermarket to test how shoppers reacted to jam selections. The massive display with 24 jams attracted huge crowds, but only 3% actually bought a jar. When they reduced the display to just 6 jams, purchasing skyrocketed to 30%. Too many options trigger severe mental paralysis, making you constantly anxious about choices you missed. When you're scrolling through endless streaming movies or giant menus, cap your options to 3 so you don't freeze up. Have you ever caught someone's feet pointing toward the door while they were pretending to listen to you?